welcome. Glad you could join us here on 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Next to me, Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. And coming right up, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder playing against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center. Well, for Minnesota, they want to come out of the gate strong tonight. We've heard them talk about establishing the upper hand right away, not sitting back and playing it safe in the early stages. Andrew Wiggins making strides in his game last season, scoring from all over the floor now, and more importantly, scoring with efficiency. What was the change you saw, Shaq, in his approach?
Well, I like this kid. He's, Ernie, really a quiet assassin. The three-point shot was clicking for him. Much more space to operate with an outside game. This kid can do it all. Oh, Canada, you better stand on guard for he. Oh, I like that.
How come nobody's ever described him as a noisy assassin?
Good point, Ernie.
Anyway, back to Andrew Wiggins.
Well, does a good job of drawing fouls as well. Getting to the free throw line.
You know what?
Quietly gets to the free throw line.
You know what we also did? Anytime you get the guy to start the music early, you know you've done your job.
There it is.
So send it to Kevin Harlan.
Oklahoma City Thunder on the road as they take on their Western Conference rival in today's game. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, and we'll have David Aldridge filling us in from the sideline. Clark, assess the center position right now in the NBA. I'm talking about elite centers and their place in the game.
Well, the center position has changed, Kevin. You don't have a lot of back-to-the-basket centers anymore. More of the big guys are stepping out and are more like stretch fours than traditional big guys. What you have in the center position now typically are rebounders and rim protectors. Not many dominant scorers on the low block.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Inside, it's Patterson and Adams. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair, and it's George in at the small forward position. So it's the Timberwolves now. Towns, the screen. 5 to shoot. And the shot goes in.
Smooth operating off the pick there, Kevin. Wiggins doing a nice job creating plenty of space to get his shot.
Westbrook kicks to Adams. Outside, George. Back to Adams. Shoots over Towns. Adams' shot is off.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
They set the screen. Wiggins kicks to Gibson. The 10-footer. The putback. No good. Shot missing. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. In the corner, it's Westbrook. The shot's good on the assist by George. Westbrook's got his first 3 points of the game.
And you know what? When Paul George sees an open teammate, he doesn't hesitate. I mean, he quickly gets the ball out of his hands. It doesn't stick with him.
Towns sets the pick for T. Back to Towns. Another miss by Towns.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively. There's a chance he could go for a big game if they don't beat him up on the perimeter.
Now here's T. I'd send it out to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Billy Donovan. David?
Well, Kevin, I asked him what the strategy was offensively, and he said, look, we want to avoid having to take so many outside shots. They want to exploit what he described as a mismatch inside. He said, we have the talent down low to make things very difficult on those guys. We're going to use it. Kevin?
Thank you, David. And it's Westbrook missing.
And the Timberwolves, a team that is evolving how you imagine they would with Tibbs running things here. Deliberate approach on both ends of the floor and really looking to dominate the rebounding market.
T dishes to Towns. Great pass to set up the lay-in.
And, you know, you got multiple options with this guy coming out of the screen. He can go pick and pop on you. He can go pick and roll. Towns can hurt you either way.
Now, here is George. Outside Westbrook. And the Thunder, another 3. Greg, in the areas you just talked about, rebounding and pace, the Timberwolves are very much where they want to be.
Yeah, the team just looks to make the most out of their possessions and try to beat you through efficiency. They have players that can get easy transition points when the opportunity presents itself. But in general, they aren't trying to speed the game up. Shots are just flowing him right now, having a really strong quarter.
T kicks to Wiggins. Pass to Butler. Towns sets the pick for Butler. From the wing. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. There's the dish to George. Over Wiggins. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
And that kind of awareness from George is really exceptional. Catching the defense flat-footed by rising up immediately on the catch.
Teague, the pass to Wiggins. Towns, the screen. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins.
Nice way to start the evening. His numbers getting called, and for good reason.
Well, you know, Greg, they can count on him to get buckets. I mean, he's getting the ball because he's very efficient when he has it. And I think they're winning because of him. I mean, he's hitting a lot of his shots right now.
Three-pointer, Butler. A three-pointer is right on target. Butler's got 9.
Yeah, you know, not every point guard will be able to find an open man right there, but T is always looking for the right play.
The feed to Patterson. Pass to George. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Adams' shot is good.
And that's how you answer back.
Exactly, Greg. I mean, go right back at him. Show him you can shoot from outside all night long.
Now here's Wiggins. There's the pass to Butler. Towns, the screen. Left side, Gibson. Shoots over Patterson. They get the rebound.
Boy, the relentless nature of Towns snatches the offensive board, then converts it into points efficiently and effectively done.
Here's Roberson. Back to Westbrook. Dishes to Robertson. And the Thunder, another 3.
You know, leaving somebody that wide open is not prudent. I mean, you got to expect to get burned when you put that kind of effort forward.
Now, here's Teague. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's Towns. That's a good shot, and now he's 3 for 7.
Still in the process of shining his game up. Towns looking like a seasoned vet there.
George dishes to Westbrook. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 3 assists now in this one.
He is getting it done on the offensive end. 5 buckets through 7 shots.
Outside Teague. Butler kicks to Towns. Adams, some nice D. George. That shot off. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Thunder lead by 6. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. some criticism. Also a guy who is extremely critical of himself.
It's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out, to know when to score, to know when to pass, to know when to be aggressive, to know when to slow down. It can be tough at times because I want to do so well, and I want my teammates to do so well, and I want to win so bad.
They have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for Oklahoma City.
Well, I'll tell you what, they must have had a good shoot-around because they've been fantastic from long range so far, fellas.
And the other thing, though, is their execution in terms of their ball movement has been flawless. Sets up a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
Taking a look at the Thunder. On the wings, Abrinas and George. Ennis Cantor is out there with Grant. And it's Kristen in at the point guard position.
And the range that George has, I mean, he is a knockdown threat from the perimeter.
Greg, when you think about the franchises in the league that have sustained success, who are always competitive, Oklahoma City should be right there at the top.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the records for the Thunder, and their success really does speak for itself. 8 straight seasons of 500 or better basketball. Only the Spurs and Rockets can also make that claim.
And here's George. After Tyus Jones getting his shot to go from deep. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Butler, drilled from 11 feet out. Butler's got 11.
Butler really known as one of the best defenders in the game. He knows when to get after it and go for steals with those quick hands.
Here's Abrinas. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Rebound by Aldridge.
Boy, incredible effort on defense. Refusing to give him an uncontested layup. Nothing easy.
And with that, the Thunder lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from Butler.
And let's see, guys, if that triggers another little explosion from him after hitting 3 triples in that first quarter.
Now, here is George. 5 points in the game. And that one's good. Kristen's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
12 straight points off of 3-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
And guys, now that they're rolling from out there, the defense has to really get up into them. You got to almost be in their jerseys to try to deny those looks.
Butler, and again it's Minnesota converting.
And Butler knows he can get whatever shot he wants pretty much when he wants to. That's why he's one of the best scorers in the game.
George with the screen on Butler. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Here's Kristen, and again Oklahoma City with the triple.
Can't give up these looks. I mean, the defense has to be more aggressive guarding the perimeter.
Crawford passes to Jones. He kicks it to Butler. Chang with the screen on George. They set the pick. Feeds it to Chang. And Grant sends it back. Here's Cantor. No good on that one. Timberwolves go the other way with it. Crawford kicks to Aldridge. Timberwolves passing it around. And they'll keep possession. That one drops for them. Oklahoma City leading by 3. And Kristen kicks to Cantor. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. And that one's good. Kristen. Mark, there are a lot of great rim protectors right now in the NBA.
Yeah, there sure are, and there are a couple, though, that stand out to me. Gobert and Whiteside. I mean, they are just like octopuses in their ability to hover around that rim and challenge and change and block shots. Those two guys really stand out to me. I also think you've got to consider DeAndre Jordan, too. With his athleticism, he's become better as a rim protector in his last few years.
Right.
Oh, great timing. He is one tough customer on that offensive glass.
It's like he has a sixth sense of where that rebound is going.
And that sixth sense, guys, might be better than just about anybody else's.
Here's Crawford after Ennis Cantor's basket. Here's Chang. Lays it up off the glass.
And, you know, we all know about Jang's high motor. Defensively, you can't just let him float around the glass. You've got to get a body on it.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City.
And, you know, Gorgie Jang is a big man who can play both the 4 and the 5. He doesn't stand out on offense, understated there, but very valuable and solid and consistent. He's a rim protector and a space eater, but also a pretty effective rebounder, too.
Minnesota. Towns is checked in for Aldridge. Gibson comes in for Gorgie Jang. Wiggins is checked in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Teague in for Jones. And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Adams, he's checked in for Cantor. Patterson comes in for Grant. Andre Robertson, he's checked in for George. And Russell Westbrook subbed in for Kristoff. Adams' shot is good. And Jang, a solid challenger at the rim with his shot blocking. Clark, he doesn't mind having a secondary role on a team as long as they are winning.
Yeah, you know what? He's really comfortable in his own skin and what his role is. He's got great awareness of how to help his team. Never tries to do too much on the offensive end. And he's really good at playing with any other type of big guy that the Wolves put on the floor.
Here's Westbrook. And that one comes up a bit short.
Good defense there. Got away with a major lapse.
Teague dishes to Gibson. Crawford outside. A 3-ball. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 5 assists in the game.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter. And now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Westbrook kicks to Abrinas. He dishes it to Patterson. There's a screen. Here's Roberson, and there's another one for the Thunder.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. It's the Thunder. They're up by 2. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, they shot the lights out in the first half. What has to change?
Get back. You know, focus on getting back, guarding your man, and not taking these real.
It starts with a man-on-man challenge. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, y'all. Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. It was all Russell Westbrook in the first quarter. He had 13 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
They were really efficient on offense. Shared the basketball well, great shot selection. That accounted for a high field goal percentage in the first half.
Shaq, what you think about Minnesota?
Well, Ernie, I'm not even a player anymore, but I'm not happy with the soft defense they had. Full of holes, allowing over 60% shooting. Ridiculous, fellas. It's amazing that they're still in this game. I think it's going to come down to how bad they want it. I even want it. Ernie, sign me on a 10-day contract right now.
That'll do it for now. The second half of action coming right up.
The buildings of downtown Minneapolis all lit up on this lovely evening. Welcome back, everyone, to the Twin Cities. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, so far they haven't found an answer for him. A scoring machine here in that first half.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch, partner, because not only is he shooting a high percentage, a good percentage, he's also carrying the team.
Thunder with the lead.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, when you play against this Minnesota team, you know they like to play at a slower pace. I mean, they had one of the slowest paces of play in the league last season. Not a team that really wants to put the pedal to the metal.
Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. Wiggins at small forward with Gibson at the forward. And it's Towns in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Now, here's Westbrook. After the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. Adams with the screen on Teague. Screen by Adams. Here's Roberson, defended by Butler. And Adams with the slam.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And for the Wolves and their slower style of play, Clark, it makes sense when you look at their roster. They have guys who command a lot of attention in half-court sets.
I agree with you, Kevin. I mean, Towns is the big one there. His versatility, he can step out as a big guy and make perimeter shots out to the three-point line. He can post it. Pretty good passer. Wiggins, terrific in isolations. Outstanding offensive player. This team can score the ball in transition.
Gentlemen,
it's just not something they look for. I think they've got to balance it, though. Half-court action and a little more transition opportunity, and to grow defensively will allow this team to sniff the playoffs.
That's good from Gibson. We always talk about what a good shot is from time to time. Clark, how would you define a good shot in the context of an offensive possession?
To me, Kevin, a good shot is a shot that a guy can make 60 to 80% of the time when he takes it. Whether that's a three-point shot, your post-up moves, your mid-range jump shots. Those are quality shots. And then the other piece of it is you don't want to take a lot of contested shots. You can make them as a pro, but good shots are shots you can make 60 to 80% of the time, and usually that means you're getting open shots versus contested shots.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Westbrook with the steal. A finish. Oh, and the jam by Westbrook.
Man, you got to admire how easily Westbrook takes over games. I mean, an offensive juggernaut who is tenacious when it comes to scoring.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. Now here's Towns. He has 6. Count it. Good.
Wow, fired that bounce pass in there. Beautiful.
Well, Towns does so many things on the floor. Already an elite post scorer. But Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
And I tell you what, the former NBA Rookie of the Year, Towns, continuing his rapid ascension as one of the league's best centers.
Wow, 5 straight buckets coming out of half. They are rolling.
Here's Gibson following the basket by Russell Westbrook. From the baseline. And again, Karl Anthony Towns. Towns has got 11 points.
Gaining a lot of poise in this area. Towns will make the mid-range jumper if you give it to him.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into a game like this.
Ouch, Greg, that is definitely an emphasis jam. A big apostrophe or exclamation point, maybe even a question mark.
And guys, I know there are a lot of questions right now defensively for this team. There's no doubt about that.
And Jeff Teague coming over to the Timberwolves in free agency. Greg, the team felt he was the perfect fit.
You know, and it seemed for a while the Wolves had wanted to kind of mix things up at that point guard position. And you knew they had someone in mind when they dealt both Rubio and Dunn in the offseason. Teague was their man all along.
2 shots.
The first one falls.
Jeff Teague was more of a scoring point guard as his career has continued. He's gotten much better at surveying the court and creating opportunities for his teammates.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Towns. Zhang comes in for Taj Gibson. And Tyus Jones subbed in for Butler. Both good from the line that time. And you look at the style of play for the Atlanta Hawks under Coach Mike Budenholzer. Clark, it was all drive and kick. Do you think that helped Teague develop as a passer?
I think it certainly did, because when you play a system style of basketball, you kind of know where your guys are and where the best shots for them are, and it does help you be a more consistent and effective passer. And also, I think because of three-point shooting in that system, Teague became fairly adept at creating for people to get shots.
Chris Dunn's checked in for Jeremy Grant. And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. And that one's good, Kristen. Kristen's got the lead up to 9 now for Oklahoma City.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Back to Wiggins, takes a three. Westbrook pulls it in.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
Change here too. Alex Sabrinas is checked in for Chris Dunn. Third quarter of basketball here in just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
Robertson gets the bucket.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
And I tell you what, Greg, once he finds that rhythm, he's hard to guard. Shots come easy for him.
To stop the run, here's Aldrich, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Aldrich has got 6.
And you know, Aldrich is getting to the point in his career where he's developed a number of moves inside, and good play call there for him.
Oklahoma City moving the ball around. They grab their own miss. The shot's good from Cantor.
And you can see how this game is going. I mean, put a body on somebody.
Exactly, man. Come on. You got to be physical down there. There's got to be some intensity and some physicality on the board.
And still varying opinions out there of what Andrew Wiggins can and can't do. But one thing that's indisputable, he's an incredible scorer. Whether it's half-court transition, he can flat out fill it up in a hurry.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. And Wiggins, his young career, just getting better and better at scoring, Greg, while increasing his workload.
Yeah, and very few scorers can do that, especially from that 2-guard spot. Wiggins has that special talent where he can flat out carry an offense. Scary to think that this is a kid who is just scratching the surface.
And he's good on the second.
You know, you think about Wiggins, drafted number 1 overall a few years ago. So many high expectations, and to be fair and honest, he's met most of them.
Here's Here's Westbrook, and the rejection by Towns. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Kicks to Wiggins. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
It's just one of those games for him so far. Nothing seems to be finding the bottom of the net.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Fires the three. Hits the three-point bomb. Wiggins has got 4 points in the quarter.
Nice fluid motion off the catch there, Kevin. I mean, Wiggins becoming a dangerous jump shooter.
Here's Westbrook. And it's Westbrook again missing. Timberwolves trail by 10. Crawford. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Crawford's got 8 points. Oklahoma City's gotten the three ball working for them in the second half. They've hit 3 out of 3 shots from long range. Screen by Adams. Outside Westbrook. This one for 3. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Towns has got 6 rebounds now in the game.
And still looking for his first triple of the second half. He had 3 at halftime.
Pulls up on the wing. Aprinas with a rebound. Over Crawford. Off target with that shot. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. Thunder lead by 8. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
We've done a great job moving the ball. Let's keep the ball moving. Extra pass, attack, pass, and play, okay?
Billy Donovan enjoying the activity his team is showing, the motion of his offense. Just wants to see more of it.
Yeah, they're working together well. The key now is to try to do it consistently throughout the rest of the season.
3 quarters in the books, folks. Glad to have you with us. Welcome back as we get going. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So the Thunder 5 right now. Patterson the 4 with Canner in the middle. On the wings, Aprinas and George. And it's Westbrook in at the point guard. Crawford passes to Towns. And the layup's good off the glass.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the court.
Westbrook against Wiggins. Lets it go from 11. And it's Westbrook again missing. Timberwolves trail by 9. Crawford, no one around him. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got 3 assists in the game. Westbrook against Wiggins, and it's Aprinas in the corner. He feeds it to Cantor. Outside Westbrook. Shot clock at 6. Over Wiggins. That's good from 17 feet away. Westbrook's got 11 points here in just the second half.
And Westbrook is a terror from the mid-range. Terrific at sticking it to the defense from that spot on the floor.
And the officials call a traveling violation.
He went a decent amount of time before his first turnover. It's really been a good, safe stretch of basketball from him to this point.
Teague, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. Andre Robertson, he's checked in for the Thunder. Westbrook against Teague. Passes to Patterson. From the arc. Drops in the tray. And the Thunder lead by 11. Well, Clark, you had the distinct honor of playing horse against the former president of the U.S., Barack Obama. You lost that game, I don't want to remind you, but I want an honest answer. Did you let him win that contest?
Kevin, the deal is that it was an unbelievable privilege to play POTUS. We changed the letters of that game back in 2010, and I let the president up. I gave him life after I had him down, and he took advantage of turning the momentum in his favor. He won fair and square. I did give him an opportunity to win, but he's on top in that matchup, and I think it ended up being good television. And while some of my former teammates look at me with disdain for having lost a horse game to the president, I think it was all intended to end just the way it did. And, you know, Tom Thibodeau is one of the most respected defensive minds in the game in the NBA. Has a great track record when he's with the Bulls and as an assistant with the Celtics.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, well, let's summarize what Tom Thibodeau went over with his guys during the break. He was not happy with their play. He told them, we're getting outworked out there. Simple as that. We've got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if we have enough to get done.
Thanks, David. And defense, something that this Timberwolves team has struggled with prior to the arrival of Coach Tom Thibodeau. At the end of last season, they started to turn things in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you figure with Thibodeau, it's just a matter of time before his team becomes one of the better defensive teams in the league because he demands that you play that end of the floor all the time and the right way.
Confident and composed on the three-point shot at a critical juncture.
Here's Roberson. Up top, Cannon, defended by Towns. Westbrook against T. Westbrook, no good.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And Roberson kicks to Westbrook. Patterson, the screen. Cantor with the screen on T. Pass to George. And Roberson has it in the corner. The shot's good on the assist by George. Roberson's got 9 points here in the second half.
And the fans are so fired up after that triple that trimmed the lead at the other end. And now they are stuck.
Hey, Greg, guys, that shot changes the game. I mean, extending their lead and providing them a little more cushion, that's a double-edged sword there.
The dish to Westbrook. Three-pointer. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
Love the attitude of Westbrook. Continues to improve at running the offense and finding ways to create opportunities for his team.
Outside Butler, and there's the feed to Towns. Shoots over Patterson. It's good, and the Thunder lead is cut down to just 4 points with a double from Karl Anthony Towns.
Man, how about the collectedness of Towns? Helps him come through when the game gets snug.
And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant 1 there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on him.
Greg, I agree. He better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line. It's a 6-point ball game.
Good work at the line to stretch that lead out a little bit.
Adams, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. 1:30 left to play in the final quarter. Unloads from 13. Hits some room on the way in, and the bucket's good. 26 points for Russell Westbrook.
Like how confident Westbrook is close to the rim. Gets high off the ground and releases his shot quickly.
Kicks it out to Wiggins. And the Timberwolves tack on 2 more.
Boy, the things that Wiggins can do for you, a lot of them. That's what versatility is, being able to do a lot of different things well. He can finish off the catch, get his own shot, he draws fouls. He does a lot of things to generate offense.
And Westbrook, here we go. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring breakdown for Oklahoma City.
You know, one of the big stories has been the 3-ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
Yeah, Clark, the other thing that sticks out for me, the number of assists they made over the course of this game.
makes it a 7-point lead.
And Russell Westbrook is as explosive a guard as we've seen in the history of the game. An incredibly gifted scorer who can also punch it on you.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's an 8-point game. Minnesota's gotten in the groove from three-point range. They are 4 for 4 since the third quarter ended. A nice shot by Teague.
Hey, Teague knows that he can come up big in big moments. His team needed a bucket, and he delivered.
Westbrook gets to Patterson. Pass to Adams. Patterson, the screen. Fires from 14. Adams, shot is good. And the Thunder lead by 7.
And now they are probably too far ahead. It's going to be nearly impossible to get back in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.